Hi, this is Lucy and welcome back to my channel. I made these two cards a little while ago and I was really happy with how they turned out, giving them a bit of a faux marble look. So I decided to make them on camera for you to see in case you want to try this technique at home yourselves. So I'm starting off with a piece of acetate and Uniquely Creative's UniQolor pens, and these are in the blue, the purple and teal. Underneath is the watercolor paper from Uniquely Creative as well, and I'll have a link to their store in my description. So to begin with, I'm just scribbling over the acetate sheet, and then I have two water spray bottles. One is just plain water and the other one has a little bit of perfect pearls in it, which gives it a really nice shimmer. And I'm hoping that you'll be able to see that on camera when I do the close-ups nearer the end. So this looks like I'm being messy, but all you do is you just use the acetate to move it across, and you won't see those lines by the time I've finished. So it was a lot of purple, so I'm going to go back over with some of the teal now that the rest of it's dried. I don't use a lot of water, so it dries pretty quickly. So I'm just adding the rest, and I just put it down the center because then I can cut this into quarters, and I have 4 card fronts, so they're all a little bit different, which is nice. With one of them I felt like it could do with just a little bit of this Tim Holtz stencil and some of the teal watered down again, and then I'll just go over it as well with some of the teal that I have left, just to blend it in a little bit more because I don't really want too much to be seen. But I think I haven't really noticed, you can see it very slightly, but in the end you'll see I change tacks as well with that stencil. So now what I've done is used the Uniquely Creative have got a glue pen, and I'm just scribbling over, and now I'm just using some of the foil, some silver foil, and I don't like how this one has turned out, so I'll just add a little bit more glue, but you'll see the other one was turned out beautiful. It just depends on how you scribble, and my lines were a little bit too neat, I felt, that time, and so now it looks much better. And with this one I'm going to use that glue pen again, and so this is a really great technique. You don't need expensive foils, you don't need to do anything with it really. So this is some gold now. I used silver on the others, and I don't know if you have a preference. I can't decide. I like how both turned out. So yeah, it's a pretty cool and easy idea. I'll do the same with this one, but this one has a lot more ink on this card front, so I'm just going to add like a little bit extra of the gold, and then I'll use the stencil with some gesso, and I'm just going to scoop a little bit to the side here and use a cheap makeup sponge and just lightly go over it. I don't want it to be too obvious, but it turns out beautiful. I hope that you'll be able to see this on screen after. So now I want all these sentiments to be matching, whether I've done silver or gold. So with this one I'm going to be using this stamp set that I bought a long time ago from Uniquely Creative, before I was even on their DT, and I'm just going to heat emboss with some gold embossing, and that comes out quite nice. You can use whatever's in your stash with this, and you can probably use any sort of inks if you didn't want to buy any more inks at the moment. You can use like the Distress Oxide or Gina K or whatever your favourite inks are as well. So with this one, I thought that I might make a specialty age card. So these are just some wooden numbers that I bought from a $2 store. And so I'm just embossing them in the silver so that they stand out on the one with the silver foiling. And then I'll die cut a happy birthday in gold for this card. And I haven't put it on a card front yet. I probably, could have done that first, but it doesn't really matter too much. So now this one's silver, and I'm going to die cut that one out. This happy birthday is also from Uniquely Creative. They have some beautiful dies and stencils as well, so I should have used one of their stencils, but I just found the closest one. So I'm just bordering this with some silver paper, and then there's these 2 cards done. Well, they're actually not, because I do a little bit of splattering afterwards. Once they're all done with the Perfect Pearls, which I've had in my stash for the longest time, and I don't use them nearly enough. They're really quite beautiful, and it's a tiny little bottle container, but they last forever. So anyway, this one was a little bit more warped because it had maybe a little bit more of the inks or the water. So I'm just putting it on the back of one of the paper pads just to sturdy it up. I tend to try to recycle anything, so rather than put that paper pad, the empty front cover and back cover in the bin, I use it behind some of my cards to give it some height and some stability for these ones. So I'm just like flicking on some of the Perfect Pearls. I've just added a little bit of water to it, and on the gold ones just flicking that on there. And with the silver ones, I don't have any silver Perfect Pearls, but I do have the pearl colour, so this is just very subtle, but it does stand out. You can see it, and you will see these when I do a close-up afterwards at the end. I also have a bonus card at the end as well, using that the 2 Perfect Pearls. Just using it up, I thought that I would create a new card, and it turned out to be probably my favourite. So I'm a bit upset with myself for not videoing it, and especially because I die cut the paper first, the watercolour paper, and I accidentally ripped through some of the middle of it, and I was thinking, oh, should I continue and use it? And I decided to make a feature more out of it. So you'll see this at the end, that I just added more of the gold in that space, and I love it. It turned out really good. So, always keep your mistakes and, work through them. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you to my almost 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited to have you all. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. My son doesn't think I'll get to 1,000, so I have about 23 to go. So you can probably see on these now that the bit of shimmer and the bit of Perfect Pearls on there as well. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and come back for the next one after this. Now here's the card where that's all ripped in the middle there, and yet you can't really tell. It looks like I meant to do it like that. So I was really pleased with this card and how it came out. And if anyone's interested, let me know and I'll create another one similar to show how I did that one. I'll have the photos of these on my Instagram page, which you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.